'Tis the season for counterfeit money. What Georgetown police say fooled this place and 3 others into accepting funny money.
Tornadoes, floods, and snow, all part of a deadly winter weather system making its way across the country. We'll have the very latest.
Storms across the eastern United States have had a ripple effect at airports across the country. I'll tell you what to expect at Bluegrass Airport coming up.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon. Glad you're watching today. Funny money, fake money, popping up in several places in a central Kentucky town.
Georgetown police have had 4 cases recently of people passing fake $100 bills to clerks for items that cost very little, getting a lot of legitimate cash back. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is talking to investigators in our top story at 5.
Georgetown police see a lot more counterfeit bills this time of year, and they say that's because a lot more people are out and many of them out shopping.
During the holidays, workers are in a hurry. They've got long lines. They grab the money, they just run the pin across it, and then they give change.
Georgetown Police Captain Robert Swanigan says counterfeit artists often target crowded restaurants and stores. A few days ago, he says they hit a Taco Bell in town at a very busy hour.
The purchases these people are making are for small purchases. They'll come in, they'll buy a pack of gum, $1, and then they get $90-some and change. Legitimate money that, of course, then the business is out.
The bills police are now getting, Captain Swanigan says, feel real and look real, even pass a pen test. What makes them stand out to him is what's written on them.
It's prop money for motion picture use only. It's clearly stamped on the bills, but the bills are passing the ink test, where they've got the pen that they run across the bill and it leaves a mark if it's a legitimate or non-counterfeit bill.
Police only have 4 cases of those fake $100 bills being passed around town, but they say there could be more. In Georgetown, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
And police say right now the only description they have of the people passing the counterfeit money is 2 people who left in a dark-colored car.
Leestown Road is back open this afternoon after being closed for nearly 16 hours because of an accident involving a semi. A FedEx truck took out 2 utility poles about 10 last night. That crash knocked power out to more than 3 dozen homes near the Fayette-Woodford County line. Police say the driver tried to pass a car that was stopped in the road and ended up in a ditch. And when the driver tried to get the truck back on the road, a utility pole became wedged between its 2 trailers and flipped the truck.
There's a passing zone here, and it shouldn't be with all these instances, and you know, it's pretty bad. And we know when it happens, we just worry about how bad was it. You know, did anybody get hurt? There's been a few people killed out here. It's just not a good intersection.
Crews worked through the night and the morning on the damaged utility poles, and they were able to restore power about 7:30 this morning. The road reopened just before 2 this afternoon. 6 people are injured after a 2-vehicle accident on a busy Montgomery County road. Emergency crews were called to the intersection of Indian Mound and Spencer Road about 1 this afternoon. Fire officials say that 1 person was airlifted to UK Hospital and another taken by ambulance, both with serious injuries. 3 other people were taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. No charges have been filed at this time. The cause of that accident remains under investigation.
The same storm system that spawned tornadoes in the south and Midwest has now brought snow and ice to parts of the east. Heavy rain is also causing record-breaking flooding in Missouri and Illinois. CBS News correspondent Brian Webb reports from Goldens Bridge, New York.
Water has nearly submerged a McDonald's, a Super 8 hotel, and a gas station in St. Charles County near St. Louis. Nearby homes are flooded almost up to their roofs.
So we're dealing with an incredible amount of water coming at you here.
The unusual winter flood has caused more than a dozen deaths in the state, most of them drivers who entered swamped roads. Parts of 2 interstates in Missouri and Illinois are shut down, and authorities called a mandatory evacuation in the small town of West Alton, Missouri, where a river spilled over a levee. South of St. Louis, the Mississippi River is expected to crest at record levels Thursday. The storm also brought ice, rain, and snow to parts of the east, including here outside New York City, where record high temperatures were set just a few days ago. Some, like Eric Sylvester, aren't letting the winter weather bother them.
I didn't think it was going to be that cold out, so I just wore some shorts.
Are you regretting it now?
No, it's not that cold out.
It was looking more like December in western Maine and eastern Massachusetts, where children built snowmen and drivers cursed the roads.
Very bad right now.
A number of accidents were reported across New England, reminding people in the region what winter is usually like. Brian Webb for CBS News, Goldens Bridge, New York.
This could turn out to be the second worst flood of the Mississippi River in Missouri, behind only the historic flood of 1993. Well, that massive storm is causing flight delays and cancellations all across the country.
Quite a mess. So far today, nearly 800 flights have been canceled on top of thousands yesterday, and that includes disruptions here in Lexington. Our Sean Moody is live at Bluegrass Airport with an update on the situation there. Sean?
Hey there, Sam. Things have been getting a lot better here at Bluegrass Airport since yesterday. Delays have been dropping steadily throughout the day. Right now, there are just a couple between Lexington and Chicago and Lexington and Charlotte. As the weather rolled through over the past couple of days, though, it was a lot worse.
So just a big headache.
John Wilson's a Kentucky native who lives in Utah. His trip to Salt Lake City should have taken just a few hours last night. He's on day 2.
They stopped us out on the runway, brought us back, said Detroit was a mess. So we got off the plane, and then the flight ended up getting canceled, and so everybody was trying to rebook. That storm that barreled through the Midwest and then onto the East Coast created issues in big airline hub cities like Detroit, Chicago, New York, and Boston. You know, that snowballs, no pun intended, and affects that travel everywhere. 3 different phone calls to Delta trying to get a flight rebooked, and another flight this morning to Detroit was delayed. Another flight through Atlanta was delayed. And so finally on a flight going out tomorrow night. I was going through Detroit, and last night this was all just over Detroit and stretched out all the way back. Now we'll end up flying through Atlanta, and we'll be going to Salt Lake City. He's hoping to make it back by Wednesday night, a couple of days later than he was supposed to be there. I mean, I was going back for work, and so you have to deal with that. You've got to communicate with your people at your job and get all your scheduling and stuff taken care of. So it's a big headache on that end. So it'll just be a waiting game until the storms clear up and the airlines catch back up. Oh, we've got a link on WKYT.com to the flight information tracker. You can check and see how your flight's doing. At this point, the majority of them are showing on time. Live at Bluegrass Airport, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you. An airport spokesperson said they expect a few delays to last into tomorrow. The weather here is not causing any of those delays, but we're still in for some pretty big changes as we head into the new year. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us with an early look at your forecast. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Sam. Those changes leading to better weather in terms of the drying trend that is settling on in. Yeah, it's going to get a little colder, but when you've been as warm as we have been, really you can only get colder from there. Southeastern Kentucky, the big winner of the weather world today. We were in the 60s earlier today in Jackson and Corbin. Down into the low 50s. More importantly, though, we had some sunshine. Neighbors to the north, Frankfort and Lexington, yeah, not so nice in terms of the sky condition. Low temperatures are into the middle 40s right now with a fair amount of overcast skies that are with us. You see the clearing here into southeastern Kentucky. Thicker clouds across the Bluegrass region and points to the southwest. Right now underneath those clouds, no precipitation, though later tonight and especially tomorrow, a couple of quick hitting showers are likely into parts of central and eastern Kentucky. Out this evening, it's mainly cloudy skies and it's on the cool side. Can't really call it chilly or cold. 40s into the evening hours for the final few days of December. Not bad at all, but the pattern is going quiet over the next 7 days. It's a better looking 7-day forecast when I get back in a few.
Chris, thank you. A big announcement today for UK football. The Cats have a new offensive coordinator, and he won't be the only addition to Mark Stoops' staff. WKYT's Rob Bromley joins us now with our Big Blue coverage. Hi, Rob.
Hello, and UK making it all official in a release this afternoon. Eddie Gran is joining the Kentucky coaching staff. Gran will have a lengthy title: assistant head coach of the offense / offensive coordinator and running backs coach. He comes in from Cincinnati, where he was offensive coordinator, but he spent 3 years with Mark Stoops down at Florida State. In a statement, Stoops called Gran an outstanding coach with great experience, including the SEC. He said he's a great leader with tremendous tremendous passion for the game. Gran has coached at both Auburn and Tennessee. Now, that's not all. Darren Hinshaw is coming in from Cincinnati as co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Hinshaw has also spent the last 3 years at UC coordinating the Bearcats' passing game. He also spent 3 years at Tennessee and was named one of the top recruiters in the country by Rivals in 2011. Much more coming up shortly in sports.
Rob, we will see you then. Thank you. UK will hold a news conference Monday afternoon to introduce the 2 new coaches.